Welcome, students. This is your test number 1 review video. Our test is going to be Tuesday, September 8th. Do this video on your own sheet of paper. Bring it in on Tuesday morning before school, and we can review any of the problems that you're not sure about on there. Bring it to class on Tuesday, and you will be able to use it on your test. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, a big portion of what we're doing is solving. So we draw our line down when we solve, we box what we're solving for. We move things that are not inside of the box, so we get rid of a plus 2 by doing minus 2, minus 2. Those cross out. We bring down our 5x equals 10 minus 2 is 8. These are like terms, so we can put them side by side like that. Divide both sides by 5, divide both sides by 5. Those cancel out. And x equals, when I type that in my calculator, it comes up a decimal. I hit math 1 enter, and it just goes back to 8/5. Okay. Alright, the next one here. Draw our line. Well, the first thing I see on this one is my x's on the right, so I like to switch everybody's places. So do this. And then I'm going to combine like terms on the right-hand side. That's 12. On the left-hand side, I do the distributive property. Anytime I see those parentheses, I know I got distributive property. So that becomes 2x plus 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 2 is 4. And then it's just a normal problem I'm ready to solve. Plus 4 gets a minus 4. Those cancel. Bring down my 2x, 12 minus 4 is 8. When it's beside it, I divide it. So I divide both sides by by 2. And those cancel. And that is 4. Alright, next one here. Here's what I'm solving for. Draw my line down. Minus 3 gets a plus 3. Plus 3. Those cancel out. Bring down my x over 5 equals 10 plus 3 is 13. This is being divided, so to undo divide, I multiply. Multiply, the 5's cancel. X equals 13 times 5 is 65. And so 65 is your final answer there. Alright, then we got into some inequalities. Inequalities had some very similar things. We box. When we see a plus 3, we minus 3. Minus 3. Those cancel. Bring down my negative 2x. Bring down my symbol. 9 minus 3 is 6. When it's beside it, I divide it. Divide both sides by negative 2. Anytime I divide by a negative, I have to flip. So those cancel. X, I flip the symbol. 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. In our graphing, if this is negative 3, our face look like this, or like that. So this is the face we're dealing with here. So we get a solid circle, a filled in circle. That points to the right, so we point to the right. Another inequality, this one's a little bit different to solve. I see division under here first, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 first. Those 2 cancel. X plus 6 is less than or equal to 8 times 2 is 16. I didn't multiply or divide by negative, so I don't flip it. I'm solving for the x, so plus 6 gets a minus 6. Minus 6, I can draw my line down to keep everything separate. Those cancel. X is less than or equal to 16 minus 6 is 10. Again on the graph, the 10 would go here, solid circle, and that points to the right, so I draw to the right. Alright, this says the sum of twice x, so the sum of twice x, so sum means add, twice x means 2x, and 3, so it's 2x plus 3 is at least. So at least means that it's greater than or equal to triple the x. When I see x's on both sides like this, I'm going to subtract this one over, minus 3x, minus 3x. 2 minus 3x is negative 1x, plus 3, bring down my symbol, 3x minus 3x becomes 0. Minus 3 to both sides, minus 3 to both sides, those cancel out. Negative 1x is greater than or equal to 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Divide by negative 1 by negative 1. And this causes the flip. So those cancel and I get x. My symbol flips to be x is less than or equal to negative 3 divided by negative 1 is positive 3. Okay. A literal equation. If I had 5x plus 2y equals 8. Remember, literal equations was you had multiple letters in it, and literal equations ended up being an equation when we were done instead of a single answer. I'm going to solve this one for y. Draw my line down. Minus 5x to both sides. These are not like terms, so I offset them. So these are not like, so I offset them to the side. Those cancel. 2y equals, just bring everything down, 8 minus 5x. When it's beside it, I divide it, so divide everybody by 2. Y equals 8 divided by 2 is 4. Type that in my calculator. Negative 5 divided by 2 is negative 2.5x. Or we could hit math 1 enter, and that would change it back into 5 over 2x like that. So either one of those is acceptable answers. Okay. Perimeter is 18. Perimeter is adding up all the sides, so I'm going to add up all of these parts. So x plus 3x plus, so I added this first, this second, and then this third. Okay. Draw the line down. Here I see some like terms that I can combine. That makes 4x, 1x plus 3x. And then I see some distributive property here. So that's 2 times x, and 2 times negative 2 equals 18. I've got some more like terms here. 4x plus 2x is 6x minus 2 equals 18. Minus 2 gets a plus 2. Plus 2, those cancel. 6x equals 18 plus 2 is 20. I'm going to rewrite this up here. 6x equals 20. When it's beside it, I divide it. So divide both sides by 6. Those cancel. X equals 20 divided by 6. I know what it is as a fraction, but I'm going to type it in my calculator to get the decimal. 20 divided by 6 is 3.3 repeating, or math 1 enter, or 10/3. Vocab words that are important for the test. Inverse operations are operations that undo each other, like plus undoes minus, times undoes division. An equation is something with an equal sign. An expression is something without an equal sign, so like 2x plus 2, so it has numbers, variables, operations. Distributive property, anytime you have those parentheses with the arrows like that, that's distributive property. It's about multiplication. And a solution is just an answer to an equation. Okay. Remember, if you didn't understand any of the stuff that we did on here, had any questions about it, you're more than welcome to come into tutoring on Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock in room A16.